Hey there, welcome back to Chosen to Be Empowered TV. I am Deneen Joyner, your teacher, healer, guide, and all things ancestral trauma expert on your behalf. I am hoping that you will resonate with today's topic, which has everything to do with literally reminding you of who you are and embracing that and understanding at a deep level spiritually that there have been some things that you have encountered in your life that has made you forget that. I want to step back a minute and really just say that I created this channel for sensitive souls, for souls that know at the deepest recess of their souls that they are different, have been different, was aware of this difference when they were little, and they have encountered experiences that have made them feel embarrassed, not good enough. And because of the misunderstanding of others, sometimes it's even your family, most times it's your family, that you have taken on a cloak of low self esteem, self doubt. You've decided that it was much easier to get along with others by taking on their criticisms, their misunderstanding of who you are, and their lack of being able to literally meet you where you are emotionally. I speak from my own experiences, my own truth with being a sensitive soul, AKA empath, if you will. And so I am recognizing more than ever, especially now, where it feels like the world is spinning out of control. And I have become more sensitive and more aware of the emotions of others, other people who I know nothing about, the collective. That is the bigger picture of when you feel like things are just not feeling right. You feel heavy from day to day. You feel emotional overwhelm from day to day. You feel hopeless and helpless. And when you are able to step back and really just recalibrate yourself and sort out the noise, the emotional noise, the distractions of others, then you're able to whittle it down and you're able to see and recognize that it's not yours fully and completely, that it is other people's. And other people's could be the people that you surround yourself with daily. It could be coworkers, it could be your family that you live with, it could be your friends that you surround yourself with. And even with that, even with those descriptions, it doesn't always have to be a constant physical surrounding, because if you're an empath, once you connect with someone, you're connected. So it doesn't have to be a physical surrounding, it could be a spiritual knowing. Okay. That makes for another conversation, another episode for sure. But today, what I wanted to talk to you about is that you may be at a place where you have grown ever more sensitive to your emotions and your emotional health and well being. When you grow to that consciousness level of that, there have been things that have occurred, experiences and instances in your childhood, mainly so, that have created this shield within yourself. You created it because people didn't get you and understand your sensitivity. And so it was better for you back then to create distance between you and your heart, you and your feelings, and the sensitivity that often presented itself and made other people uncomfortable. If you're anything like me, you grew up around people who didn't get you and who did not appreciate your level of authenticity, your level of truth about the truth. And so you were made to feel alienated and lonely. And as a child, you really didn't have the skill set or the tools to even articulate what it was that you were feeling about others with regards to their emotional framework, how it was literally hitting up against your own because you were still growing as a child and elevating in your own emotional framework. And so there was a mesh, a mishmash, if you will, of emotions. And you were left on your own to try to sort this thing out. So it was easier for you to just try to contain it and not acknowledge it, or and you started to live against your authenticity and your gift of being an empath. God gave us the ability to be empaths. You know, if you read the Bible, you will see different levels of um, God wanting us to be empathic, to have empathy for our neighbor, to treat our neighbor as we would treat ourselves, and so on and so forth. So, the ability to care and have concern and love for our neighbor beyond ourselves is an expectation. When I speak of being an empath, I'm actually saying that, but also, I'm also saying that you, being a very sensitive soul, you have more than that. You have more than the average person. God gave you an extra lump of empathy. And so, because of that, it started to rear its head when you were little. And so, you knew things, you sensed things about people that you didn't understand why you knew these things. And nobody could really understand them either. And so, because they couldn't understand them, they made you feel bad about having the sensitivity. Okay. Maybe you were somebody who cried a lot throughout your childhood because of that sensitivity, that over sensitivity to other people, and you really didn't understand what it was then. I'm praying that as you have grown into your maturity, that you know for sure that you are an empath, and that on some levels or all levels, you have embraced that about yourself, because that is literally your gift from God. And if you open yourself up to learning more, becoming curious about why you are an empath, then you are going to be placed on a path where you are going to start to uncover and discover more about this gift and more about the gifts that are also attached and assigned to you. Today, I really wanted to talk to you about a few things that has to do with being able to open yourself up again to being gifted, to having the knowledge that you have about others' emotions. And it really starts with your relationship with God. So, more than likely, okay, because you do have this divine gift, you've known about it, you therefore have always had a relationship with God on whatever level that may be for you. It's important, especially if you have maybe pushed your relationship away with God, maybe because of experiences that have you've had that have been painful and traumatic to you. It's going to be really important that you reestablish your relationship with God. That is going to be paramount to you growing and healing and understanding why God gave you this gift in the first place. If you do have a gifted relationship with God, if you're open to learning about this gift and you have been walking with God and you have an established relationship, then I would say for you to continue on that journey with God, definitely do more. Do whatever you can to literally feel more connected to God, whatever that may look for you. If it is reading more scriptures, if it is attending church more often, if it is um, finding a friend or a mentor who is more um, knowledgeable about God and being um, having a relationship with God, then I would definitely tell you to do that as well. In order for you to get to a place of surrender and allowing yourself to accept who you are, the way that you accepted who you were when you were little, before everybody else's criticism of you and your sensitivity came into play more. It's going to really ask for you to accept that God made you the way that He made you for a reason and that He didn't make a mistake. So, a relationship with God is the beginning of the soul healing that it is going to require and ask of you. The second part would be a relationship with yourself. And so this might sound crazy, right? A relationship with yourself. What do you mean? I'm there. I have a relationship with myself. I'm living and breathing, ain't I? Yes, but there's more to it. So again, going back to when you were little, more than likely you developed that method of detachment, disassociation, if you will, from your gifts. And because of that, your ego has been leading the way. When I speak of ego, there's good and bad ego, right? The ego that is um, the part of you that is a defense mechanism. It comes in to save you. It came in to tell you that it was better off, you were better off not showing your emotions to others, not saying things that you knew about others, not crying when other people were hurt or when your feelings were hurt. So you've built up this defense. And because of that, the things that you saw other people do to other people, the things that you saw and were a part of that people mistreated you, you started to negate what you saw. And so there's been a false sense of what you see and what you know. There's a disconnect. So your relationship over time has not been authentic and in integrity to who you are. Does that make sense? If you're not in integrity with saying to yourself, this person wronged me, or my parents didn't get me, and so therefore I didn't receive the love and attention that I required. They just didn't understand me. And so therefore I kind of felt like I was just thrown aside because of that. Then your relationship with yourself has not been an authentic one. And trust me, I'm not judging you. I'm giving you the example so that you can understand what I mean by it's going to take for you to rebuild your relationship with yourself. It starts with the acknowledgement that things have been off for you and that has been how you have journeyed up until now, is really just not being honest with yourself about certain things that have happened, certain things that have hurt you, things that you saw that did not add up, that you knew were wrong, even as a child, that nobody acknowledged ever. It's going to take that. It's going to take that rawness and truth within yourself first, okay? In order for you to literally get things back on track with being open and honest with you. The third thing that I want to talk to you about today, which has to do with soul healing for sensitive souls such as ourselves, it has to do with actually a relationship, establishing a relationship with the pain and trauma that you experienced. Establishing a relationship with the pain and trauma you experience means literally self acknowledgement and giving yourself permission to go there. Now, I'm not telling you to do that right now because there are things that I want to establish with you first before we start to go back and and look at things with a different lens, not the lens that you have on right now, but the lens that I'm going to be providing to you whenever we come together so that you can feel empowered and in control of what it is that you may uncover about the things that you experienced when you were little that created pain and were traumatic for you. I want you to know that it is going to take you establishing a relationship with pain and trauma because up until now, what you have done again is you have made the pain and trauma in your life your enemy and you have become a victim to it on some level. Even if you're not aware of that, you have become a victim to it. You have. Okay. If you've developed the things that I believe you have developed over your lifetime, then you have become a victim to it. Otherwise, you would have already taken on healing and you would know with a new lens, okay, that the experiences that you have experienced were not sent to harm you, okay? They weren't sent to harm you. But right now, because we're in the beginning stages of looking into things and acknowledging things and giving yourself permission to actually look at them, then you right now are not there yet. But you'll get there. You will get there. Have you ever heard the saying working against the grain? So when you work against something, you literally are causing and creating friction between you and whatever that is. When we are looking at spirit led soul healing, it is asking you to partner. You are partnering with those experiences that created the most pain and trauma in your life. The reason why it is asking you to partner with it instead of working against it is because you're going to be able to get more information about that thing instead of negating it and staying away from it and distancing yourself. When you partner with something, you literally are saying it's you and I. Okay. It's me and you. We're going to go into this thing together. And so when you partner with pain and trauma, you're going to say the same thing that you no longer hold control over me. We are equals in this thing. And because God sent whatever you experienced in your life, then it must be for a reason. It doesn't matter what it was. It doesn't matter how painful it was. It was sent to you for a reason. There is a reason behind it. There is a lesson in it that we need you to get. You'll be able to go back and retrieve that information. Okay. Because up until now, what happens is the more you stay stuck and numb to those instances, those experiences, the more they're going to continue to show up in your life in different forms. So there have been things that have been playing out as an adult for you, unbeknownst to you, or maybe you are aware that it has everything to do with unhealed, unresolved things from your past that you haven't literally given it um, the time of day to really just go there and look at it. Okay. Um, if you looked at my video 2 videos ago, where I actually introduced um, the concept of indigenous soul healing, I talked to you about what happens to your soul. There is a soul video as well. So I would encourage you to go and listen to that, where it actually speaks about the soul's purpose, how the soul actually um, processes emotional pain and trauma, what happens to it when you don't heal it, acknowledge it. And so most people are at that stage of recognizing that it's there because they've never healed it, or they've gone to therapy and they've never really gone deep with whatever it is that they feel has caused them the most pain. And so because of that, it's living and breathing in your soul. So this level of soul healing literally is going to go to the heart, and it is going to allow you to get real and honest real quick with yourself. You're only working with you and Holy Spirit to heal your life, to recognize that you have gone long enough. You have danced and lived around your pain long enough, and that there is something that God has for you on the other side of that. But first, what you are going to have to do is to address it, which is why I created this channel, to be able to allow you to look at your life and to realize that you are worth healing. Your life is worth healing. All of the things that people told you about your worth through their actions, through their words, through the experiences that you have had up until today may have been telling you that you're not worthy. Okay. I'm here to tell you that you are worthy. So it's going to literally take you adopting and putting down the mindset that once allowed you to be around people who didn't see you, didn't recognize who you are, to now understanding that it is time for you to do so. So these things are the things that I want you to literally meditate on: your relationship with God. Where do you need to transform it even deeper? I want you to think about your relationship with yourself. Where are you today with how you are literally treating yourself internally? What are you saying to yourself on a daily basis? What do you believe about your self worth, your value system? What do you feel about healing? And why haven't you healed or embarked upon a journey up until now? If you have been on a healing journey, then kudos to you. I'm happy for you. I believe that even here, you are going to definitely grow even deeper and become more self conscious and aware of the nuances that have everything to do with you being a sensitive soul, and how you can start to embrace more of who you are and show up differently. And the last thing I already touched on, which was for you to know that this form of soul healing is going to show you and require for you to actually make pain and trauma your partner, for you to literally embrace it. Because when you do that, you stop the struggling inside you, and you're literally saying to yourself, it's time for me to look at things differently. I can't continue to have the same mindset about pain and trauma. I can't continue to be silent internally with myself about the things that I have endured. I can't be silent about who I am as a sensitive soul, the things that I know. And we're starting with ourselves first. This isn't the type of um, soul healing where you go and include everybody right off the bat. You really want to try to keep things close to your vest right now, because it's going to be important that you don't have any outside opinions or outside influences on you growing and really regaining your strength and um, the love that is going to require you to be able to put yourself and your emotional well-being first. I am just so excited, really, really and truly, that you know that this channel exists. I am going to literally continue, coming on, giving you some food for your soul. I want you to know that I work with people one on one. I do a lot of group coaching. You can go to my website, DenineJoyner.com, if you are interested in learning more about me and my work. If you would like to have a one on one complimentary soul clarity call, we can do that. I also offer soul discovery for 15 minutes through Zoom. If you are somebody who likes to see who they're talking to, um, and please like and subscribe this episode. I am looking forward to having a community here that is safe, that is open to you and your sensitivity. I honor you. I am here for you. And I am looking forward to hearing your experiences with being an empath, being someone who has had to be a hermit, just to kind of keep themselves from feeling alienated, um, with people who don't get you. Whatever it is that um, you have experienced, just know that I am here for you, that I support you, that I love you, that I truly understand what it means to be a vessel for God and not truly understand why he put this gift on you. But I pray that you are open now, that you have found this channel to growing in deeper awareness that allow you to transform and be open to healing, because you certainly deserve it, and the world deserves the gift that God has given you. That is all for now. I'm going to go. I pray that this episode opened you up and made you curious about who you are and why you are. And I look forward to connecting with you again in another episode. Take care of yourself. And until we meet again, peace be with you.